Case simulations are simulated real-world interactions with virtual clients. Each simulation focuses on various aspects of the OT process. This interactive approach allows the player to apply practice area knowledge by making decisions on the course of action that is most appropriate for a specific situation. Each case begins with an information phase, an introduction, which is an expository presentation of the case setting, client condition, and other pertinent case information. OT journal entries allow the player to see how the on-screen OTR is progressing through the OT process. This information may include ways to prepare for an initial client interview, means of selecting assessments or interventions, or notes for an interprofessional team communication. Case notes include information contained in the client's file, such as documentation summarizing pertinent client factors or the outcomes of decisions made by the player during the case. The player has the ability to review the case notes throughout the progression of the game. The mentor provides instructions on ways for the player to proceed through the game and methods for interacting with the animation or selection picker modules. During the animation modules, conversations with the client and relevant individuals are possible by the player selecting interaction points from a series of possible discussion points. The animation brings the case to life, allowing the player to observe the client, then to practice clinical reasoning by selecting the best options for the client. In some situations, multiple camera angles are available to help the player make the best observation in order to select the optimal action. Selection pickers allow the player to apply clinical reasoning by deciding on the best action for the client during a particular phase of the OT process. Through this process, the player is presented with a deck of potential actions and completes a sorting activity to determine the best actions to take. Environmental modification modules enable the player to view the client's environment and make decisions about the most beneficial recommendations for the client's home or other environmental contexts. Each case concludes with an outro, which presents informative information allowing the player to view outcomes of the occupational therapy evaluations and interventions. At the end of each case, the player is provided with feedback about their personal performance on the case and reading recommendations that are added to the player's reading list.